Dr. Bado, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Attention, everyone. If we can get you to come back inside, we're about to go to our next presentation, which will be done by our Office of Instructional Technology. We'll be learning about lectures into online videos with Blackboard Collaborates. Okay, we'll turn it over now to Dr. Bado.
All right. Hello, my name is Nyambwe Bado, and this is Brennan Grant, my colleague. We work in the Office of Instructional Technology. So we are here today to talk about Blackboard Collaborate, how you can conduct a live lecture in Blackboard Collaborate and also record and save the recording in Blackboard to make available to your students for future review. So, and some of you, when we say Blackboard Collaborate, some of you may think that this is a new tool, but I know that some of you know it from its former name, which was Illuminate. So it's just the same tool. Blackboard bought it and renamed it Blackboard Collaborate. Yeah. So, okay. So and the Blackboard Collaborate is a web conferencing tool. Some instructors use it to conduct their live lectures, and others use it for just regular, office hours, virtual office hours, basically, to meet students online and discuss course issues. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how you can actually access the tool in Blackboard and use it to conduct a live lecture. So you log into your Blackboard course first, and then you look on the left-hand side menu and scroll down to course tools, or you can go to tools. Tools is mostly the link available to your students, but you, as an instructor, you can also use course tool, which is below the control panel. Yeah, and that's it. So you click on course tools and go to Blackboard Collaborate. And here, this is, in the past, the first link we say join room wasn't there. So in the past, it used to be that when you come in, you have to create a session in order to, do the live lecture. But now there is a live session permanently available in every Blackboard course. So when you go in, you don't need to set it up, and before coming in. So when you go into Collaborate and just click join room, and you are headed to that live room. So click on join room. Yeah, so if you are doing this for the first time, you will have to download the Blackboard Collaborate launcher, which is the software that is actually powering the live lecture room. So, but once you download it and install on your computer, it will always be there. As long as you are using the same computer. So the next time you do it, you don't need to download and install anything. It will just detect it and open it from your computer. Yeah. So here we have already downloaded and installed on the computer, and this is what the web conferencing room looks like. So, and when you get into this room here, the first thing you want to do is look on the left, the top left corner, and you want to click the talk button. If you don't click that one, everything that you say, your students are not going to get it. Oh, sure. Okay, thank you. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so you want to click on talk. So go ahead and click on it. And then you see that microphone bubbling. And that will show you that your microphone is getting some signal. And if you want to use the video to show yourself live there, and you click on the webcam, and it will show you. But you don't have to use the webcam. But if you want your student to be able to hear you when you talk, you have to click on that microphone. If you forget to click on it, they want to hear you, and you will just be wasting your time. Yeah. So, and after that, if you look below my name, you see a list of tools with red X's on them. So those are the different tools available in the Blackboard Collaborate conference room. And those tools, as long as they have those red X's on them, it means they are not available to students. It means students cannot use them. So you have the microphone, you have the chat, and you also have the webcam. So if you leave the red X's on them, students cannot send you a chat message, they cannot turn their microphones on, they cannot turn their webcams on. So in order to enable those tools for students, you click on each one of them once and the X will disappear. And now they are available to students. So, but we don't really recommend turning all of them on. For example, the whiteboard and all of the drawing tools, because if you make all of these available to students, they may actually draw things on your, whiteboard and mess up your presentation. But at least you should have the chat and microphone tools enabled for students. Otherwise, if you are giving your lecture and they have questions, they can't really tell you. Yeah. So, and below that window, you see the chat tool. That's where students will type their messages and they type it and hit enter on the keyboard, and then it will be displayed there. And it has two tabs. One of them say room, if you look below it, and the other say moderator. So if the students select the moderator tab and type a message, it will only come to you, the instructor of the class, but the classmates will not see it. But if the room tab is selected, that's a public message. Any message that they post there can be seen by anybody in the session. Any question at that point? Okay. So now let's look at the whiteboard. Yeah, so these are the drawing tools. There are different tools in the meeting room that you can use to interact with the content. And one of them is the drawing tool. You can use it to highlight some important information for students. Yeah, you can draw with it. And you can also place certain shapes such as circles, triangles, or rectangles on the whiteboard. Oh, select it twice, click on it, and then click it again. Yeah. Yeah, so those are the shapes. Okay, so now I will show you how you can actually give your PowerPoint presentation in this session. Some people think that, in your face-to-face class, if you are using PowerPoint to guide your talk, some people think that you can't do it if you are teaching an online course, but the same thing can be done. You can actually import your PowerPoint in the collaborate session and show it the same way you would do it in a face-to-face class. So to do that, you will go to the top right corner, and there is a button there which says load content. You click it, and then you navigate to your computer or any external drive where the PowerPoint is saved, and then is the PowerPoint open? Yeah, we may have to close this. If you have a PowerPoint open and you are trying to import it in, it doesn't work. It will show error. So you have to close the PowerPoint software. Okay, so we'll try one more time. Load content and select it and click open. So what is it saying again? Okay. So, and there are times that happens, and I'm glad it happened here. It doesn't, that's technology. There are times it works, times it doesn't work. And we know that certain PowerPoint versions don't actually fit well into Collaborate. And when that happens, you have to convert your PowerPoint to picture files and then read them in. So let's do that. All slides? Okay. So there should be a folder on the desktop with the PowerPoint name. Just double click and then you select the slide. Okay, so now it's read the PowerPoint into the session. You can close that tiny window so we can see here. Okay, so now the PowerPoint is in a Blackboard Collaborate. And to advance the slide, there are arrows, so you can move forward and backward. Just the same way you would give a PowerPoint in a face-to-face class, you can advance the slide just the same way. And as you speak, so they see, and whatever you are showing on this whiteboard, students can see it, regardless of where they are on their computer. Yeah. Okay. So, and if you look in the top right corner, there is another button there which is say record content. So that is the button you would hit if you want the session to be recorded and made available at a future time for your student to review. So go ahead and click the record button before we go to something else. Yeah, so okay, now the button is red and it means that it's recording everything. So we get questions as to what is actually being recorded. It's not just the whiteboard which is being recorded, it's anything that you can see on the screen, including the chat window, the participant panel, and everything. So everything here is being recorded. So now let's look at the web tour. The web tour is basically a tool that allows you to give the to pull in an outside website to pull an outside website into Blackboard Collaborate and show your students. Let's just say you wanted them to go to the website of the Florida Department of Education and download certain documents there and fill. So you would just pull that website inside the Collaborate session and then navigate to that the links they need to go to download the documents. So, and everything that you are clicking or showing here, the student can see it. Yeah. So go ahead and just click on any link here. Yeah, so you can click on anything really. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's the web tour. And it's also useful if you are doing electronic portfolios in your class, you might want to familiarize yourself with this because, you know, if you are teaching a fully online course and you have electronic portfolios and you want the student to present them, then that will be your best friend because they are not going to come together in a face-to-face environment to present those portfolios. So you can give the students some privileges. They can pull in the website for the electronic portfolios and just to show the different components to their classmates. Yeah. Okay, so now let's move to the application share tool and click OK. So the application share tool allows you to share any application that is open on your computer, the computer that you are using. So it can be anything. It can be your email, it can be your web browser, it can be a Word document, and and it's usual. You can also share your desktop, even though that is really not recommended. And if you want to do it, you want to make sure you clean your desktop and that you don't have certain confidential information open before sharing. Yeah. Yeah, you might have to cancel it before it picks up the PowerPoint and then do it again. Okay, so that's application share. You are sharing your web browser. So you see that yellow area. If you look on the corners, you will see a yellow, whether it's a rectangle or a square. And in the top right corner, you will see the button for stopping, pausing, and exiting. So now we will exit this and come back to collaborate. And to go back to the PowerPoint, you have to click on the whiteboard, which is where the pencil icon is. So now we are back to our PowerPoint. So those are the main features of the tool. And also, okay, let me look. If you look under my name, you will see some interactive tools that students can use to, they can ask you to slow down during your lecture. They can laugh at you. They can applaud. They can raise their hands. Yeah, so when you are doing a collaborate session, you have to keep an eye on those kind of tools so that when students use them, you know what they mean. Any questions at this point? Yes.
So I have a question about the annotation.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to annotate right over the PowerPoint once you export the PowerPoint?
Yes, definitely. You can annotate, you can highlight certain things on the PowerPoint.
And then the other question I have is, writing with the mouse is a skill,
Mm-hmm.
and not everybody has. So, is there a hardware and tool device that you, peripheral, that you recommend for use with collaborating?
Right now, no, but I think some of the classroom computers had some, a pen you could use to write on it, but not all of the software actually have this capability. And it's true, writing with the mouse is, I don't think it's really easy.
So there is
Yeah.
in the tablet, you can't, there's no, like, just pen, you can use whatever desk surface you have to have the tablet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any other question? Okay. So now the question is, after you have recorded this session, the question is, where do I go to find the recordings and how do I make them available for my students to, review? So you go back to Blackboard and you go to Blackboard Collaborate. And so by default, when you click on Blackboard Collaborate, it's on Schedule Sessions, on the Schedule Session tab. So you want to click on the Recordings tab, and then here is the recording here. So usually, sometimes the recording is not immediately available after you finish the session. It takes time for the system to process it. So it may take, the same amount of time it took you to conduct the session. If you did a 1 hour session, you may have to wait 1 hour for the recording to be available. So, and when you find it, you have several options. Students can actually play it the way it is, but it has to use the a Blackboard Collaborate software to play it. But you can convert those recordings to MP4 files just by clicking the convert button next below the MP4. And if you convert them to MP4 file, you have the possibility of downloading them and saving on your computer and using in other courses if you want to. Yeah. Other than that, they can just play it inside Blackboard using the same Blackboard Collaborate software. So, and some instructors also want to actually make this recording link available in a specific course content area rather than the students having to go to course tools and Blackboard Collaborate to find them. So if you want to make them available in a specific content area, you go to the drop down menu next to the recording and then you click add link and that will pull the different content areas available in your course. And where you see those downward arrows mean that there are some, sub menus. So let's say I want to put it under week 2. Oh, yeah. So you click the checkbox next to week 2 and you scroll down and click save. So now let's go to week 2 and see if we can find it. Yeah, so here it is. So when students click on this, it will just open the recording and they can listen to it. So any questions? Yes. The collaborate the recordings. The recordings, I'm not sure. Scroll down and see if we have a possibility of. No, as far as I know, I don't think you can hide them. They will just be there. Unless, sorry, hide the. Mm-hmm. I'm the week 2. Okay, so let's go to week 2. Week 2. Click on the folder. Week 2. And yes, click the drop down menu and see if there is an option there. Edit. And we'll see. It doesn't. Data session? Yeah, actually, yes. Yes. But the question is, even if you hide it here, they can still go and access them through tools. Just by clicking on tools and then it will take. This is just a link. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. But what you can do, but you can record it and actually convert it to MP4 file, download it, and then delete it from there. And then you just post the MP4 file. When you post the MP4 file, then you have the options, all the options available to you. Yeah, yeah. True. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 And actually, we also have another tool called Camtasia. So if you are thinking of this is for doing live lecture with students there. But if you are thinking of using this just to record your lecture and then go post it, then it may not really be the right tool. Then you are better off using the Camtasia, which is a screen recording software where you just bring in your PowerPoint, open it, and open the software, and just narrate through it, and it will record it and export it in MP4 file that you can save and upload to your course. It's called Camtasia. Camtasia. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can give it to you. We can install it for you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
Is there a time limit on how long you record?
That's a good question. There is no time limit really, but the longer it is, the longer the recording is, the longer it will take for the system to process it. And if you do too many of them, there is a space limit per user. So the system will not store beyond a certain limit. So when you reach that, you will have to delete some old recordings before you can record again. Yeah, but there is a way. If you convert them to MP4 files, download them and delete them, and keep doing. Yes.
What's the minimum operating system? This is the latest version. This is the latest version of Blackboard that we're seeing. The absolute latest.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the minimum OS for Unix? Minimum operating system.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This one I'm not sure, but if you have, but you need to have some kind of a minimum, random access memory like a two megabytes and no gigabytes of random access memory, and you need to actually have your Java and your Flash software updated in order to run it. But other than that, there are no requirements per se. But the more sophisticated your computer is, the better experience you will have, basically.
But I know for a fact
Mm-hmm.
iOS 10.0
Mm-hmm.
or anything earlier than 10.7 is
Mm-hmm.
not.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have that problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to avoid those kind of problems. So that's why I was asking the question. I want to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that whatever computer I have, I can run all
Software. Mm-hmm. I can ask maybe Mrs. Grant knows. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and that tool is in Blackboard.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Any? Yes. Yes, they can use the iPad to access it. But as an instructor, if you use your iPad, certain functions will not be available to you. Its features are very limited from the instructor's side when you are using a mobile device.
Now,
Yeah.
the Flash content is not available to run on any Apple device.
Yes.
So any Flash content can't be used.
Mm-hmm. Actually, collaborate. Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Any other questions? All right. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Bado, for that presentation. Brennan, as you're on that page, can you bring up the tenure and promotion community? I wanted to use this opportunity to just make everyone aware that of the new university mandate, in that the process for tenure and or promotion application is now exclusively online. And we had a series of workshops that I want to say started in February, the latter part of February, first part of March, that afforded an opportunity for faculty to come work with Brennan or Dr. Badeau, so that you could actually navigate the website or the web page where all of the information is housed, and create your portfolio, so that ultimately you will be able to upload your application along with all supportive documents for tenure and or promotion. As we move closer to our deadline, which, if I'm not mistaken, is September the 9th this year. All these dates keep running in my head. I've been talking about some other dates, but it is the second Friday in September. I will say that all applications for tenure and or promotion will be due, and they will need to be submitted electronically. We will have scanning stations set up in the Teaching and Learning Center, so that if you have your portfolio and you are preparing to get all your documents organized, you will be able to come to the Teaching and Learning Center and utilize the scanners there if you want to check out a scanner and take it home so that you can do that in the comfort of your home. We're trying to make this as easy as possible and work with all faculty in accommodating whatever the circumstance might be so that this will be a very easy and seamless process. We expect to have additional workshops in August. We will also have a session during the faculty planning conference that will talk about the online process and offer additional assistance for faculty who may need it at that point in time. Any questions? Yes. Yeah, I anticipate that we'll do them. We were thinking about having two in term A and two in term B because I know at this point faculty have different teaching schedules, so we will have some earlier in the summer prior to the August one for everyone. hmm Well, and let me add, we also had our last one, which was a virtual one, and that one's been recorded. So if you missed any of the sessions that we had during the spring, Brittany, we have that in for the last one that we did. It's recorded, and so we can send out the link so that you can actually view that. I think Dr. Badeau and Brennan facilitated that virtual session, and so it was recorded and it can be disseminated to faculty who were not able to attend any of the sessions or the workshops earlier in the spring semester. So we can share that with anyone who's interested. And if you have any questions, I got a few tenure and promotion questions just today. If you have any questions about tenure and promotion, not that I know everything about tenure and promotion, let me preface. Uh, but if there's anything that I can do to assist you in the process of application now or later, please feel free to reach out to me. I typically think of myself as being very accessible. Those of you who know me and have worked with me, you can call me, you can drop by my office. I, pretty much have an open door policy. So I'm try to make myself available because, we're here to help each other. And I'm here as I continue to tell those that I work with and I shared with the administration, I'm here to be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem. So if there's anything that I can do to assist you in your faculty affairs endeavors or your faculty development aspirations, please let me know and I will try to figure out a way to make it happen. At this point, we are really nearing the end of the conference, and this is where everybody has an opportunity to participate if there are no more questions about tenure and promotion. Any more questions about tenure and or promotion? So we are nearing the end of the conference, and this is where everyone has an opportunity to participate like they do, they say in the church, where they want you to start giving money, and that's not what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to give something, but it won't be money. I'm going to ask you to give me feedback about how something you heard, something you saw may have made a difference for you or not. Because ultimately our goal is to make our conference better, and we are able to do that with your assistance. And so prior to us actually doing the satisfaction survey, Dr. Eddington, who was here earlier, we are also in the early stages of preparing for reaffirmation, if some of you are not familiar with that process. We will be going up for reaffirmation in 2018. And one of the things that we will need to have in place is, at that point, will be a QEP, another QEP, a quality enhancement plan. And so Dr. Eddington asked that I solicit feedback from faculty today about what that QEP is going to look like. And if you are interested in working with the efforts of the QEP, I'm going to ask, it's a paper survey. We have two types of surveys today. We have one that's a hard copy paper survey specific to the QEP that we're going to circulate. And then the other one is an electronic survey through Qualtrics. And Dr. Renault from the Office of Assessment has put that together, and that will actually be sent to you. So it will, I think, launch at 3 o'clock. And so you'll be able to go into your email, pull up your smartphone, go into your email. There's a link that you click, and you just click, 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 ultimately submit. And then if you have feedback that you want to share, you're able to do that as well. But we're going to start with the QEP survey about possibilities for topics. And I'm going to ask that if you are interested in working with the planning committee for the next QEP, that you just place your email address at the top in the upper right hand corner, and that will let Dr. Eddington know that he has at least a small pool of individuals that can serve on what will be the steering committee. Okay, and so I have that survey to pass out. I can ask Dr. Renault that question, what the timeline, and we're going to send out an email with additional information just saying, thank you for attending, please take our survey. And then I'll probably include a blurb about time limitations. Okay, as you are finishing that, you can complete that and leave it at the center of your table. As I indicated, you should get an email that will have a link that I'm going to ask that you click and complete the survey. Before you leave, I want to thank each and every one of you for taking time out to participate in today's conference. I also want to acknowledge Ms. Deidre Williams, who is probably still at the front desk, the registration desk, her assistants from the Teaching and Learning Center, Ms. Karusha Nelson from the Office of Academic Affairs, Dr. Mary Simmons in her absence. I want to also acknowledge and thank Dunbar Walker Productions. Mr. Walker and his team were very helpful today in making sure that all of our technology was working. Mets Catering, the Office of Assessment, along with the Office of Instructional Technology, Brennan Grant and Mr. Badeau, Title III office and staff for sponsoring this activity, and then all of the FAMU faculty who thought it not robbery to take a minute out of your day to be inspired, learn something new, and be invigorated to go back into the classroom and try something new. Finally, some of our prizes were sponsored by FAMU UFF. There are some members in the room, but I do want to recognize them for their sponsorship. And if that being all, if there are not any final comments or observations at this point in the program, are there any other general announcements that anyone may have? Any general announcements? Okay, if that being all, I want to thank you for being a part of the 2016 Teaching and Learning Conference. I hope you have, oh, great one. I did have two last items for the final prizes that way. Can somebody just tell me, and this is me and my teacher mode, can somebody tell me or name for me one of the first teachers here at FAMU based on our presentation earlier today? What was the full name, sir? Thomas Gibbs. Come up and claim your prize. Did you name one? Can you give me the name of another? Dr. Tucker, please come up and get your prize. Thank you so much. I didn't want to have to take that wine home, Dr. Bailey, but that's what it is. A few spirits. Thank you all for coming. Have a great summer.